Welcome, folks at home, to your 49th presidential debate, where two hosts will be deciding who is the leader of the podcast once and for all. Today, folks, will be hosted by Chris, and they will be discussing three major topics. Does a straw have one hole or two? Is water wet? And is it better to wipe while sitting or standing? Stay tuned to make your final decision.
Continuing
Tonight on Two Cees in a Pod, 96.7 on your... Two Cees in a pod, 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 two Cees just like two Cees in a pod, because we're two Cees in a pod, just like two Cees in a pod, two Cees in a pod at gmail.com.
Kick it!
Welcome.
Welcome. Don't listen to him. Listen to me. This is if you're making your vote, make it for me.
This is a podcast. It's recorded. You're listening to Two Cees in a Pod. This is incredible. This is incredible information. We're really going brown with lately. We figured if why not? If you can't beat them, join them. We're going shock rock. We're talking to prostitutes. We're talking about poop. We figured let's just bring ourselves down. Because this is Two Cees in a Pod, of course. This is the only podcast on the entire radio network, one could say. It's hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne. It's also hosted by Cam LeClaire.
You know the man's right up here, fam. Yo, we got it lit up here. It's 5 o'clock on the noon hour. Think about that. Run that through your brain one time.
Yes, Cam, coming off of a recent diplomatic sort of trip, went down to Jamaica, and sort of Cam, you've inherited a lot of these habits that you sort of learned when you were there. Tell me about your time.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Jamaica. Okay, so if we could maybe just we can fix that in post, because it's disrespectful to my brothers back there.
Interesting.
Somehow I got the travel brand. Yeah, I got the travel ban lifted. So that was pretty cool. Thanks. I just call him Justin. I mean, you might call him, Mr. Trudeau or Dr. Trudeau or whatever you really want to call him. But yeah, me and him are tight. We text.
Doctor, I didn't know that. Is that one of those, like, you just went to school for a long time, so he has a doctorate, but he's not a medical Dr. Trudeau?
So I heard about this guy who wrote an email once, and that's the end of the story. No.
Was it you? Was it you?
No. So this guy who worked at like a media company who deals with medical filming ended his thing with, it would be like Cameron Osborne, MD. And MD meant media director, not medical doctor.
There you go. That's how he gets you. See, you see MD at the end of an email heading or at the bottom of business cards. It's, you got to ask yourself, how many things does it stand for? Medium dick size. Maybe it just means
next time you go to your doctor's office, ask what the MD stands for, just to be sure. Are you a media director? Oh,
yeah. You see CD, BA, CRG, any of these things. Who knows the type of filth that it could be flooded with, folks. We have a great show coming up. A lot of things to follow up on, of course, from the previous weeks. And we'll play some Headliner Asinine, I'm sure, before the end of the show, before the end of the hour.
Yeah, we got other games too. Lots of hit interviews with recently recovered Donald Trump. He did his interview with us. We told him that we obviously hit 7 billion people with this podcast. The numbers don't even... The reason that they don't show up on our numbers rating is they're too high. So they just can't fit them in on the screen.
Cam, that's interesting.
So yeah, we let them know.
It's interesting because... we're 39 episodes in, Dwight Howard, Los Angeles Lakers, and right. You've really decided to steer this into a political direction. What's been on your mind lately, Cam?
I guess I've just been watching a little bit of the coverage of the press. I think it'll affect my work a little bit. Also, it's just something fun. We're all kind of, it seems like we're going back into another lockdown, so gotta have something to pay attention to. Yeah, so I don't know. It's entertaining to watch America turn itself into a state of chaos over the next month.
So you want politics to be the thing that you're getting yourself into?
I wouldn't say I'm getting myself into it, but maybe I should avoid it all because Thanksgiving is coming up, and maybe I should just try and. But what are some good conversation topics for those going home for Thanksgiving that are just super light, easy to get it to, that aren't COVID related, presidential related?
Folks at home, let us know.
Just heated topics.
Let us know. twoceesinapod at gmail.com.
What's your go-to?
What's your go-to? Well, my first go-to question is, of course, my how do I establish any sort of connection with a person? I just have to get on their level. Right, so I ask the best introductory question that can really just help you understand anything of a person. Do you remember 9/11? Do you remember it happening? Where were you? Tell me the story, because then I can just kind of get a kind of an arc.
Third question.
I think that was only my first question.
How many towers fell?
Of course, and then the next question comes up: how many towers fell? And people are surprised, mainly because they know there's two planes. Some people remember the Pentagon thing. Some people remember the United 93, the other third flight. But everybody remembers the two towers, two planes, a lot of twos. 2 + 2 is 4. But tower... And then
4 + 2
is 6.
Right. Carry the 3 because that's how many. 9 is the month that it was in, divided by 3 because that was the third quarter of the year. We're at 9, and then you add the 2 because the Twin Towers, and you're at 11. 9/11. 9 + 11 is equal to 20. It's just, I hope everyone's following me here. 9 + 11 is equal to 20, and then think about it. How many sides? How many eyes does the Illuminati have?
3?
1.
Triangle
in between
okay,
it.
Right.
So you add the 3 triangles plus the 1 eye, you're at a 4. 20. If you carry the factor, you're at 40, but then it's a multiplier of 10, so you're at 4. It all connects. Jeff Bezos.
And I'll repeat that verbatim, and I think that's a totally appropriate Thanksgiving.
It's numerology,
conversation,
actually.
Overall, I like to bring back, bring back things from the past, maybe, because maybe the present is something that's so bleak, and maybe we can all, as a family, sit around the pumpkin pie and recall the day that OJ famously was cruising down the highway in that white Bronco. Let's all take a moment to step back and remember the course of events which led to that moment in time.
Well, what did that really lead to, though? It was just more media-ized television, or
more media, baby,
cases?
more names to recognize, more popular culture figures. They throw in a Kardashian halfway through. See, it's good TV.
Did you watch the newest thing on Netflix, The American Murder Family?
No, but it sounds... Wait. The American Murder Family. So which one... what's the order? I'm going to say first they were American, I think, because they would... And then they... But then they would have been a family second.
Yeah.
And then third, they'd probably be murderers. Or
can you guess the plot?
Unless murder is first, in which case, they were No, I bet they were American Murder Family. That is the actual order. So they were Americans first, then they murdered, then they became a family.
Is there? So what are you guessing? What do you think the plot line is?
That's exactly it. They were Americans. They killed some people. And
did they immigrate? They
No, they were.
Or they just born here?
Shit! I didn't even think about that.
Because, that's the thing.
Okay. No, they are family American murderers. So they were a family first, came over here from somewhere.
I got the title wrong.
Oh my God, Cam!
American Murder, The Family Next Door is the title.
Okay, so were they American murderers or the family next door? Okay, so first I'm gonna say they were murderers, then they were the family next door, then they were Americans. That's what I'm gonna say. So they killed people before they were Americans or the family next door. Then they moved next door, and then became American. Final answer.
Final answer. Yeah, not that close.
Damn.
So they're American. They're from some mid-state, some Midwestern state. I don't know.
Shout out to the Midwest states. We have a lot of listeners.
I got a big fact. I got a big fact for the Midwest state at the end of the podcast.
Idaho. It's funny that the Midwest hovers over Ontario, which you just don't really think about being like a west. The Midwest is really a expansive area.
Is it actually? Is Chicago like right under Ontario?
It's directly under Ontario. Yeah, it's.
But we're in different time zones.
It's the Midwest. They're an hour inland.
Yeah. Did you know there's a place in California called the Inland Empire? And that blew my mind.
Cam, you got to stay on one thing. I can see you on the other side of that whiteboard over there. You're clicking over the internet. You had me so enthralled with the American murder family next door. You had me sucked into
wrong.
a story.
Illinois is not even close. You're way off. I do a double check on that one.
Okay.
Okay, so American murder family, Midwestern people. Dad comes home. Mom's missing. 2 kids are missing. And then it's all body cam footage to figure out what happened here. Is this a crossover episode? And my buddy hyped it up a lot. He was like, dude, you have to, if you're gonna, don't even go home and lie in bed. You go turn on the television, you watch this front to back. Spoiler alert, I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2,
maybe, no.
1.
Maybe, what if I watch it? He killed him. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to watch it? Are you going to watch it?
Well, that's automatically your first suspicion. But yeah, I do like that countdown, by the way, Cam. That was for the listeners at home. I wasn't really sure where you're going with that either. That's why I jumped in at the 9th hour, 11th hour.
The 9th hour.
Well, yeah, the 9th hour. I still had some time.
It's okay. It's okay. I didn't like how it ended. I thought it was weak. I thought it was very interesting. The best part about it is that it's a different style of documentary that they do. There's no narrator. There's hardly any text. It's all either body cam footage or surveillance footage, which is pretty interesting of a concept to watch.
How many people are wearing body cams?
A lot of cops in that area apparently. Maybe it was in California because they're all required to in California.
Oh, so they took a bunch of GoPro
Kitchener. They're
footage.
starting that too now.
Oh yeah.
They just
Good
they go
for
on
them.
your like bulletproof vest.
Good for Kitchener, eh?
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with these lean, mean streets, baby.
And what happened to that car bombing down there in Kitchener?
So
was there
a
a follow-up? I'd love to hear about that.
There was a follow-up. Yeah, so he basically lit his own car on fire. I think he was a little bit mentally ill and was in it. And he was like, well, if we're going to go out, we go out with a bang. And did it right on Main Street.
That is the way to go.
Yeah, there was some issues with family court and like people owing each other money and divorces. Not the kind of situation you want going into the holidays. But yeah, this Thanksgiving will be a little bit different for that family. But yeah, that all figured itself out good. And just like every storybook, things tie themselves up cleanly. Sometimes that ends up with car bombs.
Sometimes they end with a car bomb, Cam. It's great to hear some of that info. Let's get into the show. Because
what were we doing this before?
I don't know. We were also in the show. But see, Cam, when you use a word like let's get into it.
You're trying to segue. I want better segues. I'm
throwing out these
as one of the candidates going for leader of this show. I want better segues. That's what I demand.
You demand
sorry to cut you
what
off.
you
Sorry to cut you
can't
off there.
produce yourself.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Okay, let's hear your best segue, Cam. Let's hear your best segue.
I don't even know where you're trying to get into.
Are we allowed to do this, moderator? Can you ask a question? Can you ask a question of the other person?
Chris, I thought we had time. No, he's doing something with his neck. Okay. What's the hand over the neck mean? Does that mean keep going, keep rolling?
Hand over the neck? I think that's kind of like a, like a...
You're killing yourself?
No, like a, this is an awkward situation.
He threw his papers down.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's he doing?
Maybe he just dropped them. Maybe he has slippery hands. No, he threw it down. Yeah, he's throwing these papers all over the place.
He's lighting them on fire. What do you want to get into there, big fella?
Well, I was going to get into some strict podcast business because, as you know, the network ever keeps growing. We have this great location, high-rise building, facilities, private gym. On site recently. I've been hanging out with the local 12, 13-year-old kids. We're skateboarding a lot these days. So sort of opened up a facility for all these young male friends of mine. Over here.
Is it Tony Hawk did that or Bam Margera? One of the two made like a facility. I think it was Bam that he made like his what was that show that Bam Margera was on?
Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam. That house is now just like a skate park for kids or something like that. Am I right about this? Am I crazy?
Similar to Bam, Bam had his deal. Remember, he had his sponsorship deal with Element. And he always had to wear Element clothes. Yeah. I have the same thing, but I always have to wear West 49 clothes. So a lot of jeans with the buttons are popping out all the time. A lot of shirts ripping right in the armpit thing, kind of like decaying almost.
Nice.
It's going really well, and part of the reason why we're able to do these things are due to our charitable donations that we've received, and so many of the donations we received come by an email. So Cam, guess what? We got an email.
Dear twoceesinapod at gmail.com. Stop plugging your email all the time. Nobody is going to write you.
This one is, excuse me, by fan of the show, Mrs. Wright Anderson.
Ooh, thanks, Mrs. Anderson. Shouts out. Send that lady a follow.
Send that lady a follow. Let's see what she has to say. I am Miss Wright Anderson. I work with the Department of Audit and Accounting Manager here in the Bank of Africa. There is this fund that was...
Have we been advertising over there?
We seem to have a lot of huge influence over here, by the way. I don't know why. Why African? Like us so much. Felicia Todi, of course. I think... Kenya, she has lupus. Of course, we remember her. She outed herself at the corporate retreat that one time. Somewhere amongst the conversation about the crying stalls, which are still very much working, by the way. Thanks to...
They will work. They drown it out for ideal production from everybody else.
I think it was employee number 42069, I think, was the one who recommended the crying stalls in the first place. Anyways, back to the email. This woman from the Bank of Africa, there's a fund that was keep in my custody years ago, and I need your assistance for the transferring of this fund to your bank account for the both of us benefit for lifetime investment, and the amount is $18.5 million US.
Yeah, I guess we can probably. I mean, it's a lot less than we typically get, but
honestly, it is. Of course, we last spoke to Miss Dr. Lehman. I think it was. Was he a doctor? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. I said MD at the end of the signature.
It could just mean medium dick size.
Medium dicks.
I think that's what it has to stand for, right? Because if you like wrote Cam LeClaire like BFD, people would know what's going on.
A big friggin' deal.
It's a big...
That's what they would think.
Cam LeClaire, big frickin' deal.
This guy's a big friggin' deal.
All this woman needs from us, Cam, she just needs our full name, our private telephone number, receiver, country, and occupation.
So what were those last two things?
Receiver company, or receiver country, and occupation.
Receiver.
Receiver country, I've got Canada, occupation, podcast, moguls, possibly at this point. Private telephone number, full name, moguls? And that's it. Wow. Yeah, well, how did this happen, Cam? How have we been so fortunate to have accumulated so many
It's crazy that
donations.
all these have gone through. A lot of people think these are spam emails. No, these have all been
I know
valid.
what you're thinking. These are not spam emails. It's almost as if nobody has ever reached out to these people just asking for our help, scraping through the internet, like looking for a chance. And we respond to those chances. And of course, we put all the money in our bottomless piggy bank, which is the giant porcelain bank, a pig bank who has like his pants pulled down to his ankles, making him bottomless. And we keep
Classic. What a classic gag.
I just want to make sure
Everyone loves the bottomless piggy bank.
Just want to make sure everybody remembers what we're talking about. Thanks, Miss Wright again, Miss Wright Anderson.
Charitable donations. We'll send out that form, the charitable donation form for you. To make sure you can claim that on your tax deduction.
But yeah, by the way, we're tax deductible now. If you give money to Two Cees in a Pod, it is considered a charitable contribution.
How do you feel about when you go to a store and they ask you, like, would you like to give X dollars to whatever? What's your go-to?
Either not today or no thanks. Which, not today. It's the way I say it that makes it sound pleasant, because you're just kind of like, oh, not today.
Not today. Not
But
today.
I realize how it could sound menacing if you were to maybe go like, not today.
Not today, Junior.
It could really turn around.
You're like, sorry, what's your name tag say? Lucy? Yeah, not today, Lucy. Just ring up the 900 beers that I just bought, and I don't like to donate $1 to charity.
Yeah,
The thing I have a problem with it. The thing I have a problem with is when they do it, I always think like, hey, maybe I can, help out a cause here. Some people do it on the holidays, right? They're like, would you like to donate to just the American Fund of kids with broken microphones that are trying to do podcasts but are unfortunately not good enough to compete with Two Cees in a Pod? And I'll be like, hey, I can, I'll throw $3 in there, considering I'm buying a disgusting amount of alcohol right now. Like, I hate myself.
So it's a pity. It's a pity donation.
It's a pity. It's like, if I'm spending this much on this, I'll do it. Change my opinion, because at the end of the year, LCBO. Well, let's say LCBO is different because it's Crown, but let's say it's like Lowe's or something. They take all that money, they donate it. Now they have this giant tax credit that they can use, and they're like, we as Lowe's care. We've donated this much to this charity because we care. They haven't donated a cent. They've just collected it. They've stolen our money, taken the tax deduction, and then just taken the credit for it. So I said, if I'm going to donate to any charity, I'm going to donate to Two Cees in a Pod charity.
Why the hell not?
Or another one, too. Yeah.
Or
so,
another
I don't know.
one.
That's my hot take. Never give money to those people. Try it not today, or, would you mind telling me about it? What percent of the profits actually go to the poor Jimmy's hands? Tell me. And if they can't answer that, you just leave without even paying for your stuff.
Right. Yeah. That's a minimum.
Oh, I got a fun story.
That's a minimum wage question.
I got a fun story about asking receptionists bullshit questions.
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ,
I'm in a
Cam.
coffee
So
shop.
we know of course, if you're old slob of the show, you remember Cam's kind of history with receptionists at work. All legal, technically speaking, but we all know that there's a little bit of history there, Cam. So anytime you're interacting with a secretary,
I wasn't interacting. I was watching someone interact.
it's gonna be something. You seem to be involved. Like I've dealt with like 2 secretaries my whole life.
It's not it's a barista. It's someone taking orders for coffee.
Okay.
It's a coffee shop.
Okay.
So this lady I go get the coffee. It's like coffee culture. And this lady walks in without her mask on. And they're like, hey, you got to put your mask on. And she's holding it in her hands. So it's not that she doesn't have one. And she's like, can I ask you a question? And like, that's the first Karen move you got there. Can I ask you a question? Like, how about no? You don't have your mask on. You can't ask me a question. Get out. Like, that's the appropriate response to that. Be like, no, you can't. Like, you cannot ask questions because you don't have a mask on. That's the first rule. And she's like, can I ask you a question? And we all know what the question's going to be, right? It's not going to be like, what do you guys have on special today? It's going to be some bullshit political statement.
Do you have any poppy seed bagels left?
Yeah. Before I put this on, do you warm up your oat milk or you just do it cold? Like, just curious. Like, no, it's not going to be bullshit like that. She goes to the reception or the cashier, and she's like, why don't they have masks on, but I have to wear my mask? And the lady's like, because they're sitting down and they're at their own spot. And she's like, I don't see any barriers here. And she's like, it's because they're pretty far and you're talking to me right now. And she's like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Okay. And puts her mask on and orders. And I'm thinking to myself, I should have yelled at this lady and be like, excuse me, can I ask you a question, Karen? First things first, how dare you? Second thing, do you think that this lady here who is working on a Sunday, first of all, do you think she's enjoying dealing with your shit? Second of all, do you think she makes the rules for the government of Ontario? And third of all, do you think she can fucking change what you're asking? Like, why are you asking these stupid questions trying to make your...
The odds of that woman being able to guess, or man, or whoever that person was in that position, the odds that they would be able to actually do anything about it, like you just said, like change the government policy.
Yeah.
Do something about it personally. I'm gonna say
they're like, let me take care of this for you. Yeah, you stand over there. Like, that would have been a better response. But like, okay, you go stand in that corner over there, and we're gonna figure this out. Let me get on the phones for you.
In the trillionth percentile, there's a chance that this person could
while you're waiting over there, I'm gonna take everyone else's coffee order, and then we'll take care of you after. So you go stand over there in your little corner. We'll set up a little barrier for you. You goddamn bitch. So yeah, that got me going. That was my rant of the week.
Wow, and that's why you've never worked in the service industry ever.
Yeah,
I don't think you would know how to react when someone, you drop the food off at a table and someone's like, "Excuse me, I wanted blue cheese dip and this is buttermilk ranch dip." Get me a new one.
Sir, can I ask you a quick question? Just real quick question.
Yeah.
When's the last time that you've done a chin-up, sir? Just like in your lifetime.
I did a chin-up.
10 years? 15 years? 30?
This
50?
morning. That's why I want the blue cheese. I'm bulking. There's not enough calories in the ranch dip. I'm bulking.
Sir, you're looking more like a pear shape rather than that Arnold Schwarzenegger V that we're looking for.
It's called the reverse Arnie. So what you do, you really overload your legs at the early phase of the bulk.
Yeah, I wouldn't do well with that.
Transition to upper body.
At people.
Yeah, you would get so
then
frustrated.
I go across the street because I'm waiting for someone to go get cupcakes at this little cupcake place, and there's a lineup outside because people love cupcakes. I don't know why. People just love them.
White people love cupcakes. This guy gets in line.
White people love cupcakes. Yeah.
I don't know.
That should be the name of our podcast. White people love cupcakes, and we never talk about cupcakes at all.
We're changing the name of Two Cees in a Pod to White People Love Cupcakes.
White people love cupcakes.
I mean, it's both factually accurate.
We can call the episode that.
It's both accurate and like not really mean either, because it's just cupcakes, and white people love cupcakes.
Yeah, I mean, people will be like, "How dare you? Can I ask you a question? How makes you speak for white people to say, oh, I love cupcakes?" Anyway, so this guy gets in line at cupcakes. He's probably like 46 and a half, like, born next month. And he stands in line. He's probably like fourth in line. And they're taking a little bit of time inside. And I think he makes this like joke. And I'm like, I think it's a joke, but like, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to be funny, but it didn't land because you can't tell when everyone has masks on if anyone's smiling. But he goes, "Come on, I'm hungry. What's the hold up? I'm starving." And that's what he sounds like. And like,
what?
Yeah.
So you
and
mean
like,
was he doing it seriously? Like he was seriously?
So that's what I'm thinking. That he's going like he's kind of doing like a shitty like joke and hoping that like people get a laugh out of it. And then I'm thinking because no one laughs that he'll be like, "Oh, clearly that didn't land. I will now hang my head in shame and be like, Right, that's the appropriate reaction to, come on, what's the holdup? I'm hungry here. Like, not that funny, right? You're like, yes, sir, we are all waiting in line for cupcakes. Like, this isn't a meal. This is a cupcake. What are you going to order, 50 of them? Like, you're not buying lunch, sir. Why are you complaining that you're starving?
If this is meant to satiate you, you have come to the wrong place because these are cupcakes.
This is the wrong place. There's restaurants around here. This is not a restaurant. 3 minutes later, I'm not in line. I'm just waiting for someone. He pipes up again with, what's the hold up? Are they baking a cake in there? I'm starving. I'm gonna die. No one laughs.
He tried it again.
This man is entirely serious.
He tried it again.
He thinks he's gonna. I don't know if he's trying it again or he's just like, I'm very frustrated. This is taking way too long because I want my cupcakes.
Sounds like you're doing like a
weirdo.
Sounds like you're doing like a BoJack character. Like, hey, I'm starving over here.
I'm starving. I'm dying out here. They're making a cake. Of course they're making cakes. They're making very small cakes.
I guess they're making a lot of little, small, tiny cakes.
I'm dying out here. When he said, I'm dying out here, I was like, what are you talking about,
by that
sir?
point, you're the only one laughing. By that point.
Yeah. So then my friend's inside at this point, so he doesn't hear it. He comes out and he's like, hey, was there a guy? He looks what I'm wearing. He was like, okay, thank God you're not wearing plaid. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, some guy just walked into the store. He said, hey, you're going to have problems with the guy wearing plaid out there because he's really hungry.
When he heard that description, he was like, shit, that might be Cam. That might actually be
Cam.
He's
like, oh no. Cam's not even in a line, but he's, come on, I'm starving. They're baking a cake in there. Come on.
Wow. Who's complaining about stuff?
Oh, fucking Burlington people. Just shit people. That's right. Anybody from Burlington, fuck yourself.
If you're from Burlington,
I said it.
You can go fuck yourself. I will see you in court.
I will see you in hell, motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
I'm gonna sick Dog the Bounty Hunter on your ass.
And I'm gonna sick Dog and his wife
with the big old titties.
with the big old nails and blonde hair. What was her name? I'm gonna sick her on you.
Beth, I think.
Beth.
Beth's a mean bitch. I'll tell you that much.
What's Beth doing? Jesus Christ.
That was
Cam.
my Burlington experience.
Wow. It sounds like a place you don't want to go to.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
No. Not.
What do you?
Jesus
Speaking
Christ,
of places
Cam.
you don't want to go to. Speaking of places you don't want to go to, Thanksgiving's coming up, which typically means you have to see family. Segue. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Cameron?
Segue. Cam. Nothing.
Just sitting at home?
I think so, yeah. I think that's my plan, you know.
Fuck, I wish.
I mean, maybe it's easier said than done. I'm not sure yet, but...
what do you mean?
Well, I'm sure you could just...
No families hitting up your phone?
You could just sit at home.
Come on, I'm dying here.
I'm starving over here.
I'm dying. Bring me some cupcakes. Yeah, that's good. I wish I could do that, but I feel social pressure to actually go home.
Mm-hmm.
Because people expect me, and I don't like that. I mean,
Yep.
Perfect world, shut her down.
Yeah, you might as well. See, one of the advantages of not having a car is that there's a built-in excuse that you can't get to a place. Because, Cam, there's no conceivable reason why you shouldn't, you can't be able to go home. But if you had to public transit, you might
you're like, hey, it's come on, I'm dying here.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Damn, that's a lot. Is there anything, are you going to do anything, or are you just working all weekend?
No, I got nothing to do.
That's sick. What are you going to do then?
Like I said, I have this group of preteens that I've been kind of working with at the Two Cees Pod skate factory. So I think
we're
I'll
giving
just...
everyone an hour off on Monday, so it's an announcement for the company.
Oh yeah, big news! Big
You take
news.
the first hour off. Yeah, first hour off.
So wait, so they get an hour off in the morning? Is that what that means?
Yeah, so instead of showing up at 6, they can show up at 7 on Monday.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that means the shift is only 7 to 7 instead of 6 to 7.
No, they have to work. They have to work an extra hour.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
instead of working from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., they work from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay,
We don't have to go in. We're management.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. When you're a charity, you don't actually have to give time off technically, because it's still considered volunteer work. It's a whole thing.
It's a thing. Our work just came out with the days that we're getting off for Christmas, and I'm pumped. I'm only gonna have to take I think 2 days off during the Christmas break, and then I basically get like 2 weeks off, which I'm pretty pumped for.
2 weeks off.
But this
in
yeah,
the
but
in
this
the
Christmas
dead
is
of
gonna be
winter.
weird.
In the dead of winter.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get a little bit bored, but I don't know. It'll be nice to not work for a bit. But I feel like the nice thing about working for an American company is I get both Thanksgivings,
Ooh.
in a sense, especially when you're selling. Because I'm not going to sell, like, Americans double down on Thanksgiving. They're like, we like football, we like turkey, we like guns, and we like elections, right? So in that week, they don't give a fuck. Like, the Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. After Tuesday at, I don't know, 10 a.m., they're like, it's a wrap. Nothing's getting done.
So they
here,
work one
right?
day, and then they
work one day, kind of half-ass, and then Tuesday comes around, and that's when big old Bill comes out from his desk, and he's like, hey, Steve, you seen that thing on the fishing channel? He's like, hey, that's the one with the trout. He's like, no, it's the one with the muskie. He's like, oh, is that in Thunder Bay? And he's like, no, it's in Squabby. He's like, oh, hey, it's that one. That goes on for 5 hours.
Verbatim.
Next thing you know, yeah. And that goes on for 5 hours. They are now, and it's like, hey, I think it's about time to wrap it up, Steve. It's a good time playing Joe. It's like, hey, thank you, man. It's a good Thanksgiving too, Joe.
Wait. Are you telling me these intelligible conversations go on for hours and hours at a time?
Hours.
Well, how
hours.
are they even understanding each other?
And then Wednesday rolls around.
Oh my God! I can't imagine what the conversations sound like on Wednesday.
Hey, Steve got no repeller? I got no repeller, so we'll go for him. Oh, man, this guy. What's this?
Wait, was Sylvester Stallone there for a second? I think Sylvester Stallone was one of those business voices in the background. I don't know. You may want to listen back on that.
So then lunch comes around,
Oh my God.
right? And I mean, they've been wrapped up for a while now. And then the president of the company has to make a speech, be like, hey, been working real hard this semester. Good, man, real good this time. And God bless America. God bless your family. Hope everyone doesn't die from coronavirus. Get out of here. Get off early. Next thing you know, they're off home early, right? All this time, how can I be expected to sell a goddamn thing to anybody?
They're too busy
No one's
having
buying
these unintelligible conversations.
Hey, it's God bless you. You used to go hunting trails? That was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of things were crazy and Stephen. I don't know. Those were the two things that Americans seem to be talking a lot about. And then I'm sure the week after is also a write-off.
Yeah, because
like the other way.
Your wife made that good those carrots I like. Oh, I like those carrots. Some good carrots. How about that turkey? Oh, a little bit extra gravy. I like the white meat, the brown meat. Oh, that's
and
good
then
stuff.
and then as the week goes on, the conversations become slowly more and more
business.
intelligible.
They're like, hey, did you do that work that I asked you to do?
Classic business
Yeah,
stuff.
I can
just
get that work
doing
done.
work.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, did you get that email that I sent to you? Yeah, I got the email that you sent to me. Oh, we're back to talking like normal people. Until Christmas comes around, then we can, we can lay off a little bit. And then we go back.
Well, that's
Point of the
that's great for
story
you. So
is that actually, one thing is that apparently surgeries still happen on holidays. Holidays.
No days off.
All right. Yeah, no days off for these doctors. But those days you just can't sell, right? So they're doing surgery all day.
Yeah, that's what you get. You put the MD on your on your business card, and you let people know that you can perform surgery with a medium dick size.
That's right. Speaking of medium dick size, that sounds like a word you might find on Urban Dictionary. Segway, baby. That's right. It's time for reverse balderdash.
AIDS, bum, cum, douche, edge, fap, gimp, herb, ike, jerk, kush, lamp, mac, narc, oaf, pank, queet, re, slore, tilf, uff, vag, walk of shame, zon, yeet, and zuck. Now let's play some balderdash. Urban Dictionary balderdash. That was great. That was great. That was great. That was
I'm
great.
fucking smart. That was great. Yeah, they're really doing great. It kept me doing it so far. That's good.
That was great.
I got some turkey and some of the good stuff.
Cam, you are right. This is slowly becoming one of the flagship games that we play over here at Two Cees in a Pod. We debuted that new episode, that new game last week.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. Two Cees.
That was fun. I'd like to do that one again.
Yeah, we'll do that one again sometime. Who knows? There's maybe even new games or other new things in the work. So here's how this one's gonna work. It's Balderdash from Urban Dictionary. Cam, do you want to go first?
Sir, the word is dog shot. Used in a sentence.
Okay.
I guess it would be a verb, I think.
Okay.
And then, using a sentence, a girl asked for a hug, and then came her boyfriend. Sorry, a girl asked for a hug, and then her boyfriend came and dog shot me.
Okay. I want to thank the Speak and Say that kind of gave that narration there. That was nice. Thank you for coming in.
That was Chris, the narrator for the debate as well.
Oh! He sounds kind of like a Speak and Say. You know, that little like robot voice. Toy Story. Okay. Dog shot. I'm gonna sound like girlfriend. Give me a hug. That sounds like a jealous boyfriend, like a jealous guy thing. Someone hugs your girlfriend. Maybe it's just kind of like a sucker shot, or like whatever that word is. You know, like they blindside you, or like from behind and just kind of club you upside the head. Something like that. Like a whatever that's called.
And this is the first time ever we have a correct definition. It is an Aussie definition to be hit when you are not looking, to be dog shot. Ding, ding, ding.
Cha-ching. Cha-ching. I wish you could see me over here, folks. I am celebrating my friends, or of course, they've actually become really close friends of mine. The guys over at the Two Ceesinapod Dictionary podcast. They're coming up. That was fantastic, Cam. I got another one here for you. You ready?
I'm here.
Pay pig.
Paid pig?
Pay pig.
So like pay as in like pay money and then pig.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Okay, so excuse me, speaker, could you please use it in a sentence?
Of course. Here we go. My
P section.
The announcer announcing the section of the dictionary we're opening. Pay pig. My pay pig bought me a $500 pair of shoes after I told him to.
Ooh, okay. I think I know what it is. A pay pig is a fat guy that you're sleeping with. Or that is like your sugar daddy, but he's fat. But he pays for everything. Final answer.
Not really, but you were pretty damn close. You went for the pig thing, yeah, the fat guy who pays for your stuff, but it's actually more of like a BDSM dom sub thing. Of course, I reached out to 2ceesinapod@gmail.com, and I learned a lot of stuff about about all that sort of things. It's used to describe a submissive male who has consented to financial servitude toward his mistress. So he's agreed in like a Dom subway to pay, but it's meant as like a like a humiliating term. Like it's not something to be
it's
proud
for people
of.
that like being called like a sissy or something like that.
Yeah, it's like it's a little sexy.
A little bit sexy, a little bit saucy.
I mean, if I had that kind of money, a $500 pair of shoes, like that's not just walking around money. Like if you want to be a pay pig,
I don't think you walk around in
have to
$500 shoes either.
Nah, probably not.
No, probably not. I mean, if you're like really loaded, but like, fuck, if you're going to like the StockX and looking up, the latest pair of, let's say, Doorbeckers or something like that, like see what they're dropping, like Balenciaga.
Of course. The classic Doorbecker.
Dornbeckers. The Dornbecker 8s, folks. Never heard of those?
A brand everyone's heard of. That's Urban Dictionary.
That's the high-end shit.
I guess
so
it's
that's
outside
cool.
of my range then. Cam.
Well, you bought the.
I cranked that Soulja Boy. What are you saying?
Ooh. What were the last pair of basketball shoes you bought? Under Armours?
No, Nikes.
Nikes. Okay. Yeah.
Of course, you want the little swish on the side of your.
You want the swish?
on
I'm
the
a
side of your
three-stripes guy.
shoe.
Just
What?
bought some New Balances too.
All day you dream about sports?
You got it. I don't like Nike. Don't know why. I think I've been sucked into the stupid brand loyalty of like hate Nike. Even though I own some Nike shorts, I like them. I have a Nike shirt, I like it. But I'm more of a Adidas guy.
You're an Adidas
yes,
man.
that is right.
Everyone's allowed to have their brand preference. Like it's Kraft peanut butter or
silly,
it's
though.
nothing. I mean, everyone's allowed to have their thing.
Do you notice a big taste difference between Kraft and other Kraft? If I give you a test,
1,000%.
think you'd be able to pull it off?
I could get it.
Yeah?
I could get it.
We're gonna do it.
I could get it between if it was like Kraft, the no name version, like the one you would buy at No Frills. I can definitely catch that one. Skippy,
so
I
would
catch
do like
Skippy. It's my mom.
I would get
used to buy
a
Skippy.
Jif. I would get a Jif.
Yeah.
Like some kind of like store brand.
Yeah.
That and then like a wild card, and I'll blindfold you, and the wild card will actually just be like a dog shit or something like that, and just really throw you up.
Yeah, the last one's just gonna be a piece of shit covered with
shit.
peanut butter. And it's all just so I don't see what it is. It's all gonna be painted green. So
I was gonna blindfold you.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
That works.
That makes more sense.
That makes a little more sense. Yeah.
That way, if I do taste one with paint, I'll know that it's not the peanut butter I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be able to do that. I think I did have Kraft the other day, and it does taste a little bit different, but I don't know about that, Cam. I could definitely do like between Diet Coke and then Pepsi. I think I could pull that off.
Oh, that's an easy one.
but
Well, yeah. Coke, Pepsi. That's an easy one. That's
a layup. That's a layup, as they say.
as far as I'm concerned.
What's another one you think you could do for brands switching over?
Definitely like gum, like Excel versus anything else.
Really?
Yeah, even if it's like an Excel spearmint against a Dentine spearmint. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I don't chew gum enough.
I'm such an Excel boy that those flavors are just ingrained on my tongue.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fact.
For beer, you could try and give me anything. I'll know if it's not Busch Light.
Yeah, I could do Busch Light versus anything else.
And I'm pretty sure I know what Busch Light tastes like.
Yeah, if you gave me a list,
tastes great.
If you gave me a lineup of craft IPAs and one Pabst, I could tell you which one was the Pabst.
I could tell you the Pabst.
100%. 100%.
How about like Tropicana versus something else?
I don't think so.
I don't think I could.
No. But yeah, darts. I could do it with darts.
You can do darts. You think you could still do darts? I don't think you could.
Still, no.
I think your mouth. No, I think you.
No,
way
but
off.
back in the day, you like a Belmont is different than like a De Maurier, different than a Next,
Certainly.
different than a fucking McDonald's or something.
Yeah, or a Putters.
Putters.
Shitty putters.
Yeah, exactly.
rather-
See, all these darts.
Or
Had all these
A
all these
Cam
different.
self-rolled cigarette.
Exactly.
The classics.
We're a little one of those loose leaf tobacco. Cam.
Do you know what?
Look at the whiteboard. The whiteboard is behind me. You should be the one seeing it to see what's next in the action.
It says something about a game.
I
I was looking for a segue. I was really hoping you were gonna, segue into something.
wanted to bring.
How about I set you up? How about I set you up with something? Okay, I'll set you up with a segue.
I don't think we're
that
going
you
to say
have
the same
pull off.
thing. I don't think we're going to say the same thing.
No. Watch.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking brands and stuff like that. Be like, yeah, it's crazy. I could even tell you like a Subway sandwich from something else. Did you hear about the news about Subway recently?
The Jared Fogle news.
I think it was, speaking of news.
Speaking of Jared Fogle news, I just want the listeners to know I've been carrying a pair of oversized pants around. Just in case I meet him, he can
That's
send
not.
them.
Try again.
Oh, is that not?
I'm trying to help you out here. No.
Okay. Speaking of news,
Hey, the news is crazy
I got
these days.
this. I got this.
Okay.
News crazy to say. Speaking of
News crazy
news,
Some of it I hardly even believe.
I hope the listeners got a chance to listen to the new episode, to the new podcast
try
here
one more time.
on the network, the Louis Sisgelli podcast. Still have not gotten a chance
try
to
one more
watch
time.
his FX show. I hear he's a really funny guy. That wasn't it? Fuck.
So let's try one more time. I see that guy and I'm like, hey, this guy yelling out, I'm dying out here. I'm gonna say he's almost playing asinine.
That sounds
Come on.
like it could be. That's not a setup. Setup is
Setup.
like
You
ending
just
a
gotta roll with the punches,
sentence.
man.
I hope
You're not
all
rolling here.
I'm rolling, baby. Maybe I'm rolling too much. I hope all the listeners got little bits of info. I've not gotten a chance to listen to the new Louis Skelly podcast. We'll catch you up on that all next week. Cam, you're trying to play games. You're trying to play asinine headline related games.
Hey, headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
Ohio, no Ohio.
Ohio, no Ohio. Ohio,
Okay.
Cam. Why don't you explain the rules to the kids at home?
The rules of the game are as followed. Each contestant will be delivered 3 headlines, which could be either true or false. The other contestant will give an explanation as to why he thinks that is the case, whether it is true or asinine, and deliver that result. Afterwards, the other contestant will give the answer as to whether or not the headline is headline or asinine.
It was quite
How was that? That was Chris.
that was incredibly succinct. Might have been the most succinct thing you've ever said here on the podcast, Cam. How about you kick it off and give me something?
Do you hear the news about Subway?
No.
What news?
What happened?
Well, Subway sandwiches too sugary to meet legal definition of bread.
Now you know how I feel.
I know you love Subway.
Wow.
See, I'm a big Subway fan, and he hates Subway because one
Oh
time
no, that's the canon we need to be explaining, Cam. None of this porcelain pig, with his pants pulled down to his ankles, exposing his bottom. None of this Cam changing his name to Osborne also to avoid confusion. The Subway Mr. Sub debate is one that will truly never end here on the Two Cees Pod podcast.
I will never eat Mr. Sub.
And I like you and I. It's our battle. It's whoever into the end.
It's our kryptonite and Adam Wayne.
It's our Adam Wayne, famous to the kryptonite. Cam, I know how the Mr. Sub bread is produced. I've done it myself. I've molded the shapes of grain for thousands, at least hundreds, probably thousands. I worked there for like 2 years. So it used to come in these like frozen sticks that were in boxes, and then those would be in the freezer, and then you take them out, you just put them in the rubber tray, you let them thaw first overnight, and then in the morning they get put into the the big bread oven for X amount of time, pull it out, you give it a second to cool, and then when it cools down, you bag it, tie it up, and then that's fucking it. It always felt so pure, like I was at an old mill, harvesting grain and wheat and yeast and, creating some of the best bread that sandwiches can offer. Do I know if Subway did the same thing? I don't know. I didn't work there. But I can tell you one thing. Subway's a fucking shitty place to eat. I'll tell you that much. They have some sketchy. They had some sketchy practices. That wouldn't at least one bit surprise me. That's a headline.
That is a headline, my friends. And this went to the Supreme Court in Ireland. Not for the reasons you think. So, actually, the reason it went to it.
Wait, what would the reasons? What would be the reasons we would think?
I don't know. Why would people think that this would go to Supreme Court?
I don't know. You're right. I don't know.
So it's probably not that one. So it's because of a tax dispute. So what they found is that if it is a staple food, it is not taxed. And a staple food would include bread, but this bread has 10% sugar in it to the weight of the flour, and thus exceeds the 2% specified by the law as bread as a staple food, thereby deeming it not bread.
Oh my God. I love hearing that.
Love hearing some tax court decisions.
Oh, I especially when it comes to the downfall of Subway. I think every country should adopt the mottos laid forth by Ireland's Supreme Court.
I can't believe that went to the Supreme Court, though.
Hey, man, things get up to the Supreme Court over there. Maybe they don't have much to do in Ireland, and that's about it.
Yeah,
ready for it?
Won't let us get there for a bike ride. Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go, Cam. At 42.5 inches tall, there is a new record for tallest mohawk.
Ooh. Okay, let's try and get that to scale. So we know a ruler is 12.
Ruler's
so
12.
Three rulers.
That's correct.
Basically
Wow.
3 rulers. So 24. Oh, sorry, 4 rulers. Holy smokes. So almost 4 rulers high. Oh. And I wonder, well, how would you compare it?
I don't know, but rulers is just a fun one.
4 rulers tall.
Like feet, right? I don't know. I just like feet. The normal kind of. I'd go like, okay, 42 inches is probably like, I don't know, 4-ish feet or something. But you went the other way with it. That's fine.
4 rulers is pretty big. So how big's a meter stick? 3 feet?
Oh my God.
About 3 feet, yeah.
like 3 and a bit.
so big. Okay, so yeah, like, oh my God, that's a big mohawk then. Shit, I would know what the rules are for, like, does it have to stay completely upright? What's the definition of a mohawk? I asked my barber the other day. It said you have freedom of do whatever you want, and then he said, "Does that mean I can make a mohawk?" And I said, "If you think that'll look good," and he says, "I don't know about that." And then he just gave me a regular haircut.
Cool story.
Great story.
Very
Cameron.
cool story.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and say a headline, and because that sounds like a world record in my books.
Cam, you're right. You're right. That is a headline. It is the brand new Guinness World Record holder for tallest mohawk. Of course,
sticks?
As we know, over at the corporate retreat, Guinness awarded the Two Cees Napod workplace the Guinness Award for working conditions that most closely resemble that of a Nike factory, which is a record which we're proud to hold. And this man is also proud to hold him because this man, Joseph Grismore from Park Rapids, Minnesota, has grown his mohawk to be 42.5 inches. Jesus Christ. The man is 6'1".
Was there any ruling on there? Was there any ruling as to, like, what the mohawk had to be?
Well, maybe if you let me finish, I'll get to your answer. Like I was saying, he's already 6'1". So when he stands with his mohawk, he's actually like over 10 feet tall. It's a wild
So
one.
like, how many meter sticks is that?
Oh my god, how many meters would that be?
3.
Yeah, so like ducking around, like he can't get through doors when he has his mohawk up, especially just like ceilings that are only 9-foot ceilings or something.
Small bridges.
He wanted to break the world record back in 2007, but he was scared to shave the side of his head. So for it to be a mohawk, you have to have like the side of your head shaved with, or like around like a part in the middle, and then that, when gelled up in like a straight up way, then it's like scalp to tip.
Got it.
Makes sense?
So if they don't have it shaved on the sides, no mohawk.
No mohawk. Does not count.
Got
It has to be shaved. So I guess back in 2007, because I'm sure, people have longer hair than 4 feet. I'm sure that fucking record exists. But yeah, it has to be shaved and then right up. And there's he has the record. His wife and his mom is fucking helping him gel it up. They're standing on ladders and shit. It's pretty cool.
Sweet. I'm glad to hear that new world records are set. We're working on the most listeners in a podcast this month. We're topping out close to 6 billion.
Yeah, Guinness is coming back with one of those big, like thick, colorful books with the hardcover. They're coming back with one.
Oh yeah. So 12-year-old suspended in Colorado over toy gun seen in virtual class.
Oh, that happens all the time. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the new thing, right? I mean, I guess we're a month into schools being back in session, but I guess we're just waiting for the first virtual school shooting. Right? Either somebody shoot it, like while they're learning, there is a shooting in the background, or somebody gets shot in the thing. That would be it. I think somebody's like sitting at their computer learning, and then just pop, blood everywhere. So thank God we haven't encountered one of those. But yeah, you hear about those stories about a kid, we'll make like a little bang bang, sort of symbol, or, like hand gesture, but he's like 6 years old and they're just kind of playing like cops and robbers. So I don't judge. It doesn't sound outside the realm of possibility. What happened? Yeah, I bet a kid just like had a toy gun. Maybe he was playing with it. Maybe it was on the wall behind him. It's a headline.
It's a headline, and looking at a picture of the gun, it says Zombie Hunter on the side of it, but it does look like a 9mm gun. It has a green top to it, but he flashed it very quickly. The kid was black, and they call the cops to show up to his house. He's
not anymore?
No longer. Right.
Shit.
So he's suspended for 5 days and now has a record with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Because they said he brought a facsimile of a firearm to school, even though he was in his own home during a virtual class. The gun was obviously a toy painted black and green with Zombie Hunter on the side. Yeah, I don't know. It's you're right. When's the next time we're gonna see the first school shooting?
The virtual school shooting. It's happening. Just waiting for it. The population is building up. It's scary.
Is there?
Cam, I got another headline here for you. Ready?
All right.
5-legged cat to have surgery removing 2 legs.
5-legged cat. Repeat the last part.
5-legged cat to have surgery removing 2 legs.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because I can't imagine the fifth one's like hanging on its belly. Like it's definitely attached to the other one. So they're not gonna be like, oh, let's remove them, because they're gonna be deformed, right? It's like I don't think there's really any good examples I can give here. There's probably one I can think of.
Probably one you can
it's
think
like,
of.
Okay. It's like when you crack an egg and there's 2 yolks.
Yeah,
right?
like when you went on the date with the that girl with 2 heads from the TLC shows. You dated her for a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't work out. We had different religious views.
Yeah, different religious views. Yeah, who knew it would be religious views that would get in the middle there?
Yeah, Malcolm in the middle. Anyway, I'm gonna say that that is a headline because I think they chopped off 2 because they just couldn't separate the 2. Just like I'm inseparable from my longing of her.
Cam, before we just keep going, I can't give you a pass for just saying Malcolm in the Middle after I said you were stuck in the middle. I don't think that's a reference. I don't think that's not allowed. That is a headline. That is a headline, though. You are kind of right. It is exactly kind of that. It was a stray found in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. The stray was brought to a shelter where, so you pretty much exactly got it right. So it has 5 feet or 5 legs. 2 of them are deformed. They're not connected. One's coming out from like its side. It's fucked. The shelter believes that it's probably just due to inbreeding. Hey man, shit happens. But yeah, removing both of these legs will certainly improve the cat's quality of life. Nobody's adopted the cat yet, but apparently it's actually a really, really nice cat. And that's coming from me, who fucking hates cats. So,
yeah, you don't like cats very much.
Do you want this? You want a freak inbred cat? Contact a pet shelter in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. I can't see where it is from. Her name's Baby Girl. What a shitty name for a shitty 2-legged inbred cat. 3-legged.
Baby Girl. All right, hear me out here. Headline or asinine, Cam. OHL must remove body checking to play this season.
OHL must remove body checking. Yeah, I guess you want to stop the kids from touching each other so much, right?
No. I mean, OHL is not kids. OHL is the big league. That's the Ontario.
OHL is like what, like 15 to 19?
No, that's like the Erie Otters, shit like that.
Yeah, but how old are the kids? The kids are like 16 years old.
It's like the OHL. Like, it's where like Connor McDavid played and stuff like that. Like, it's like the Guelph Storm, Kitchener Rangers are in the OHL.
Yeah, these kids are still like 16 to 19.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were thinking. Yeah. Okay.
No, they're not They're not children, but yeah, they're not like fucking formed.
I thought you were talking about like 5-year-olds. Yeah.
No. Come on, cut me a little bit of slack there. You think I've never been to a Brampton Battalion game? You think my dad
and I
never
anymore? So I think you might be off a little bit, bud.
You think my dad and I never hopped on the 400, check out a Barrie Colts game? Think we never did that?
I guess you're close by, yeah.
But you're right. You know, not only are the children our future in terms of leading the new world, as it were. Also, they're our brightest hockey stars. We can't let our brightest hockey stars go down, then the entire league goes down. This is a message coming straight from Gary Bettman. You didn't hear it from me, Cam. Gary Bettman to the OHL. Hey, don't let the players touch. We need them in a couple years.
It's important that they stay very separate.
It sounds really dumb, though. So I want to say no, but I think anybody's trying anything. So I'm going to say that's a headline.
It's a headline, and I couldn't believe it when I read it. Like,
told you.
What kind of hockey is going to be that going to be?
Bettman. He needs to protect the young so they can feed into the league.
I don't think it's even Bettman saying it.
He's the most powerful man in hockey. He's the most powerful man in hockey. Can't deny it.
No, Shanahan is.
Yeah,
you heard it here, folks.
Yeah, the on ice disciplinary coach, or
because once
or whatever.
Think about it. The rule maker controls the rules. Think about that. Don't think about that. Think about that.
I guess.
Okay. So Lisa MacLeod, Ontario's Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture. Okay, first of all, Lisa, maybe you have a few too many things under your hat there to be really focused on what's actually happening. So she goes ahead and says, it would be safe to say that body contact, unless it's incremental, will not be permitted as a result of COVID-19. That would pose a challenge in terms of how they amend their play. McLeod, be in my office now, says Gary Bettman. He says, are you kidding me?
He's at the
We're
top.
expected to see the next level of talent crushing each other when they're coming up the blue lines, taking each other's heads off when they're not keeping their heads down coming across center ice.
Honestly,
with this bullshit ruling.
Gary Bettman's looking for the next Scott Stevens. He's been making all these rules,
exactly,
paving the way for the next brick shit house.
We're gonna see a lot more stick work if that's the case.
Oh my god! There's gonna be because see now
it's gonna be
the
disgusting.
league's full of all these little Paul Correas. The league's full of all these little Paul Correas coming across center, coming across center. Guess who's fucking there waiting for them, Cam? This is the perfect opportunity.
Little shacky shack.
It's the perfect opportunity. All these little guys. That makes sense. Poor OHL. That sucks, yeah. But I guess everyone's just got to stay safe.
I guess. Gotta stay safe, and yeah, I don't know. I would assume if the players hear that, they're just gonna be like, I'm good. I don't really want to play then.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I mean,
if there's no body contact, you're like, I
never played with body contact. Look at me. Look how
you play with body contact, not body checking.
It's not body checking. Yeah, that'd be funny. It's like there's no equivalent of there's no flag hockey for like for football.
Yeah,
there's
it's like, what do you do if someone's like pinned up against the boards? You're like one hockey length stick away.
Yeah,
like let me try and poke at him here.
You have to be a full stick away.
Slashing's gonna be a lot more liberal.
Gotta be a full stick away, Cam.
Everyone gets chara sticks, just whacking each other.
I'm telling all these little Paul Correas. I'm telling you. You heard it here first.
Right, hit me up.
Cam, I have your final headline here for you. A LeBron or Michael Jordan debate ended with 1 dead and 2 injured.
Oh boy, I can see this coming up.
Now you're thinking about this one.
I'm thinking about this one. The thing that I'm questioning about is because I can see there being alcohol involved, and I can see it being in a bar, and I can see it being with strangers. Because I can see a highlight showing up, and then it'll be like LeBron doing a dunk, and then he's like, dude, that's the greatest play ever. And someone's like, oh, fucking rookie. Didn't grow up in MJ's time. He's like, dude, you don't think I saw fucking MJ? I saw the games. I fucking saw the games, okay, brother? All right, brother? I was there. He's like,
guys.
you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about goddamn basketball. But the problem with this is that just, like, we need more of this in COVID times, but because you can't really go to bars and drink and yell at people, it makes it more tricky.
Or maybe there's a lot of pent-up anger over all these people trying to have these high-profile sports debates.
So then they're like, oh, you want to settle this on the court? So they go and have a friendly game of basketball.
Yes, of course.
Someone drives hard. And there's obviously fans there.
But
they're separated.
So many fans?
Yeah.
So many fans.
Drives hard. He posts up, drives right through him. That's when the real fighting begins. It started off as, okay, that's when it real starts off. Next thing you know, turf war. Hundreds of people now fighting.
Wow.
And the results are 2 dead. Yeah. So that's what I think happened.
One dead, 2 injured.
Headline. Cam,
I made that one up. Booyah.
No, I looked it up. It happened.
It may have happened. No, it certainly didn't happen. But man, couldn't you see it? Couldn't you just see it? Like pop, pop.
Yeah, I could see it.
LeBron, pop, 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 pop.
MJ till I die.
Yeah,
if he didn't have a guy on the team, it would never have been the same.
If he was drafted, if the Portland Trail Blazers drafted Michael Jordan instead of Sam Bowie, we'd be having a different conversation.
You know, I used to play with MJ back at school. I went to Illinois for high school. I dunked on him. You look it up. Look it up. You got that Google machine in your hands. Look it up. My name is Larry Bird.
What are the odds of two? What are the odds of there being 2 MJs? Of course, Michael Jordan, I think, famously grew up in Carolina, and Larry Bird, likewise in Indiana. What are the odds that a different MJ and Larry Bird played each other at the high school level in Illinois? Just incredible. It really just is incredible. Cam, I think that's all the time that we have for this week's podcast.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Remember,
make sure to like, subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe. There's an Amazon
and tell one
podcasts
friend
now.
Oh, we're an Amazon podcast.
There's
now?
an Amazon thing now. Of course, there's like a. Does your phone? Are you a Google guy? Is there like there's like a Google Podcasts app now? We're up there too.
Yeah, I didn't download it. I stick with what I knew.
Stick with what you know, I guess. Yeah, get those numbers up because we're counting down the episodes to episode 50. Maybe we should have a little bit of fanfare for that episode. Who knows?
Who knows? And folks, never forget that the first ever knee implant was made in the 1970s out of a Midwestern cadaver, meaning it did not fit Asian people when they first tried it out. I'm Cameron LeClaire. He's Cameron Osborne. We'll tune in next week.
Take care, folks.
Continuing
tonight on Two Cees in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two Cees in a pod, 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 two Cees just like two Cees in a pod, because we're two Cees in a pod, just like two Cees in a pod, two Cees in a pod at gmail.com.